Tax season is just around the corner, and the pandemic is already causing some concerns for individuals and businesses as we begin to file our returns. Joining us this morning to talk over some of the concerns is Maryland Comptroller Peter Franchot. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, Jennifer. Happy New Year to you and your listeners.
Thank you so much. Well, this week you've already made a big announcement, an extension for businesses to file and pay their taxes. Can you talk more about how that is involved? What you do for that?
Yeah, let me just give the context of our thinking in the Comptroller's office, because we know that right around the corner there's relief from the pandemic with the virus with the vaccinations ultimately protecting us. We know that there's a new leadership in Washington that's probably going to deliver some aid to states like Maryland. The problem is this. We're right in the worst part of the winter right now. We're going to have horrible experiences with the pandemic January, February, and March until we get it under control. So the issue right now is, how do we address, not down the road, not after legislative discussions, not after legislative meetings in Annapolis and Washington, but right now, how do we deal with the pain and suffering of about 462,000 Maryland families that we have identified as low-wage earners who have no job, have no income coming in, have no money to buy food, standing, freezing in food lines all over Maryland trying to get free food for their kids, have no money for medicine, have no money to pay rent. They are desperate and they need money right now, cash in their pockets. We gave them cash and in the pocket of small businesses and individuals with the tax forbearance, which is what you referred to. Mm-hmm. That's $1.5 billion that stays in folks' pockets for the really difficult time that we face between now and whenever the vaccine is widely distributed, or whenever the federal government gets its act together and puts more aid into the state. But right now they're standing suffering. So what can we do? And I am advocating later on today with Senator Chris Van Hollen and head of most of the major counties of the state that Maryland dip immediately into its reserve funds to make $2,000 cash payments immediately. And I'm able to do that as comptroller. I can put the money right in their bank accounts immediately. As long as the governor and the two legislative leaders, if they could just lean out of their window in the State House, and which is very well taken care of, I will say, and very warm, and say, Mr. Comptroller, you're authorized to use the state rainy day fund and also the positive fund balance to give $900 million to these 462,000 Maryland families with children. And you're also authorized to give $250 million in small business relief to keep the doors open. It's simply a bridge over troubled water until the aid at the Congress and the vaccine actually steps in. But right now, it is a moral travesty for us to be talking endlessly about helping these people. We need to put cash in their pockets.
And so are you going to be asking for that, you said today or this week?
Yes, good people should go. I think the event is at noontime. It's with Senator Van Hollen, myself, and a whole host of county leaders led by Tom Hucker from the president of the County Council of Montgomery County. And it's a virtual meeting. Everybody's welcome. It's being live streamed at marylandtaxes.gov, our website, and it's available. And people should join in because these are our friends and neighbors, Jennifer. I mean, I don't mean to talk and not have you talk.
You're announcing that you're ready to put money in people's bank accounts. So, I mean, and that's an event that's happening later today. So that's certainly something I think a lot of people like to hear.
It's a one-time only boost. It's just to bridge us over to the end of February, really, when we hopefully will have a handle on the virus. We can't sit around and talk. This is not let's have legislative hearings and let's receive testimony. Let's think and scratch our heads. All the people that are doing that, including me, live in warm homes, well taken care of, protected from COVID. We have salaries. We're working remotely. I mean, we're all fine. How about the 462,000 low-wage earner families in the state with small children who, as we speak, have to go and stand in the cold for hours waiting for free food?
Well, and Comptroller, last year you were also very front and center with making sure that the deadline was extended for all Marylanders when it came to their taxes. Do you foresee something like that happening again this year? Because like you said, January, February, March leading into April are going to be so terrible.
Well, I've written the IRS commissioner because we need to do something like that in partnership. The action I took to defer taxes until April 15th that are paid in January, February, March, those are things that I have jurisdiction over. They're Maryland taxes. However, I believe that the commissioner and I and others around the country should defer April 15th to July 15th. Why do I say that? It doesn't mean there's a drop in tax revenue. Everybody ends up paying their taxes. It's just that while we're in particularly difficult transition times, it allows cash to be available so that the pain and suffering can be lessened and we can begin to get into the economic recovery. I will say that Maryland is very well positioned for the recovery. It's going to be a little bit like the Roaring '20s at the end of the year because there's so much economic activity backed up in the system. And once the vaccine is there, people will feel comfortable. But it's what's going on right now that's so frustrating. I keep saying to them, the money's there, and the money, Jennifer, can be replenished in March when we go to the debt markets because we have enormous unused debt capacity. We could take an extra $1 billion in debt out on a one-time only basis and absolutely replenish the rainy day fund and these reserves.
All right, and we want people to know that the event that you're hosting today is going to be on through Facebook. Is that correct?
Facebook at the Comptroller's site and also at marylandtaxes.gov, and I'm sure it'll be all over the place because many of these prominent state individuals are county executives and others. They also need to stop blaming the federal government for lack of support, and they have to, just like Maryland has to step up to the plate. The counties have to step up to the plate and the municipalities need to. They need to dip into their reserves and it needs to be done right now.
And before we let you go, the people are getting their stimulus money right now, but some are going to have to do some sort of like a recovery rebate credit on their taxes. What is that all about?
Well, whatever it is that we find troublesome in the taxation of benefits, we're going to correct. We have the authority to to be very flexible, to waive penalties and interest. We're not going to be adding to people's burdens. I promise you, we are not the IRS. My cell phone number is 301-332-1961. If someone wants to leave a voicemail or text message as to something that they think is unfair, we are not going to participate in getting blood from a stone.
I love that you gave out your number. Give it one more time just in case.
301-332-1961. I can't always answer it because sometimes it's not a valid call, but leave a text message or leave a voicemail and I'll have someone get back to you.
All right, willing to talk to people. Peter Franchot, thank you so much for joining us, Comptroller. Really appreciate it.